Okay, y'all, so my son's in bed next to me, and it's dark here, you can't see me, but I've got my cell phone light on. You can see one of my eyes right there, and my cell phone light just went out. But I want to talk about these private security forces. I'm in an argument right now with a guy about it. But, you know, how can you ever, uh, how can you think that private security forces wouldn't work when if the if the support they get from their clientele is voluntary, they'll be forced to provide very good service to their clientele to maintain their business. What does very good service mean in the realm of personal protection mean? That means either an overall reduction in crime or shielding your clients from that crime. And of course, the easiest way for the clients of a security force, in other words, citizens, to be free and be subject to less violence and crime is for there to be less crime being committed. But the guy I'm in an argument with doesn't see that it's just the opposite with government-run security forces. The less crime there was under a private security force, uh, the profit motive for the security force would be for crime to be low. Because if he only gets paid for doing if he only gets paid for doing a good job, his job is to keep crime low, then he's going to try to keep crime low because he wants to get paid. But now, public security forces, which we call the police, they work just the opposite. The more crime there is, the more revenues these guys get. These guys have no incentive to reduce crime. Why? As a matter of fact, they want to think up crimes to put on you. Why? Because there's money in crimes. Somebody goes speeding, fine, ticket. Somebody runs a stop sign, ticket, fine. Somebody's on their cell phone in an unauthorized area, ticket. See? And they can make more off their tickets than it costs them to operate their cruisers. So, not only that, but then they pay more attention to these money-making duties than they do to stopping and solving real crime. So that area of their job goes neglected, and crime goes up because of neglect. Because it's an involuntary system of pay for that service. You can't not pay for that service. You can't choose another person to provide that service for you. They've got a monopoly, and they've got a coercion. Who doesn't see that? Who can't see that? If a man can only profit when he does a good job of protecting citizens, then crime will be low because people are greedy, they want to make profits. So they have to make crime low. Under private security forces, you wouldn't have people making millions of dollars. The more crime, the better off they would be. No, because people would be free to take their business other places. And they would say, what I want from you is no crime committed upon me. What you're giving me is crime committed upon me. so I'm not going to give you my money anymore. People that let crime go up would be out of business. They'd be eliminated. Where do we get this accusation that people would be profiting off of crime? No, people would be profiting off of protection. People would be profiting off of a reduction in crime. Don't you see that? Just open up your mind and do away with all, you know, the the conventional wisdom that's been pounded into you over and over all these years. The public security forces, paid for by our tax dollars, serve nothing but to set up a monopolistic force that will leech off of the very people that whose money supports it. Kind of like the public school system, kind of like Medicaid, kind of like Medicare, kind of like welfare, kind of like Social Security. It should be like going to Walmart, paying them for a good pie, and then them poisoning the pie. Not only did they damage you, but you paid them to damage you. And then the government saying, "Oh, it's okay. Oh, you have to do this." Crime would be lower under private security forces. Crime is made artificially high under public security forces. Don't even know why I have to go into that. Profiting off of crime. That's some catchphrase you heard somewhere. It doesn't even mean